Welcome to the weekly dose of Emuna for Shabbat Kodesh. Today we're going to talk about Havdalah, the distinction between light and fire, and see how we can benefit from both of them and discern between the two. So when we perform the ceremony of Havdalah, its main feature is the torch of fire, right? In which we say, of course, a bracha over it, and we acknowledge Hashem, that He is the creator of lights and creator of the lights of fire. Hashem essentially handed over to us the 6 days of creation so that we can use the light and use fire and take it to use it to shape and do what we can to perfect the world. That is our purpose. Fire, in essence, marked the beginning of all civilization. Even the primitive, humans, they worshipped fire. They, although worshipped the primitive form of fire in its essence, but even today, to this day, there are what we call fire worshippers, where although people don't acknowledge and worship fire in its essence, in its primitive form, but the technology, energy, those are all forms of modern day fire, and many are enslaved to using it and putting it as part and parcel of their life, in the forefront of their life. Hashem's word, when it came to us, it came through the flames of fire. So we understand that Jewish tradition certainly has and stresses the importance of fire. The perpetual fire was burning on the Mizbeach. The importance of fire is certainly stressed in the Torah. And the world in itself, how it came into being, being by the utterance of "Let there be light," when Hashem pronounced this across existence. And it is, in essence, the idea, the pronouncing and the declaring of Hashem, "Let there be light," in essence was the creation of all sources of energy and technology that we have today. So there certainly is benefits. We're not, saying that fire is not of benefit. But what we really and truly need to understand is that it's a gift to us, to human beings, that we should use it to partner with Hashem and use it to help to continue to create the world and improve the world that we live in. And when we look at it, light in itself is actually used as an ushering of Shabbat Kodesh into the home. That's where we say our bracha, and that's what initiates the idea of the transition from secular, from mundanehood to, holiness in our homes. And so we remember, by saying the blessing, by looking at the light, we remember that it was 6 days that were given to us in order for us to do, to create, to partner. But we were also given that one extra day, Shabbat Kodesh, to be. So we go from to do to going to be. The 6 days of the week, we are identified essentially by what we do, and the 1 day a week, we're identified by who we are. So we're really going from one place of our dimension to another. And Shabbat enters with light, but it departs with fire. So we're going to see here that both of them again are needed in this world, in our existence. They're both gifts from Hashem, and we need them both. And there's a correct balance to use the light which is likened to chesed, and to use fire, which is likened to gevura. We are supposed to use both of them. Fire is creativity. Light is awareness. The positive commandments which are the dues of what we're supposed to do. That's likened to light. The negative commandments, the lo ta'aseh, is likened to fire. We need them both to complete the entire Torah. They're both encompass all of the mitzvot. And so the main idea of what we're trying to understand today is that we shouldn't misuse, though, the fire or the light. The idea is, yes, we need both of them to continue and fulfill our mission, but we shouldn't misuse, let's say, fire. Because although fire is, the foundation of technology and it serves humanity, we shouldn't be enslaved to it. Because if we misuse fire, if we misuse light, it's likely to destroy and bring the world back to chaos and tohu vavohu. So it's very important that we maintain a balance between the two. And that is what Havdalah essentially does. Havdalah is here to say we need both, but we need to know to distinguish and discern between things that are sacred and things that are holy. Profane, things that are mundane. We need to distinguish between using things for light, and on the other hand, it could actually bring darkness as well. There is a difference between the way that Am Yisrael uses light and the way that the rest of the world, the nations of the world, use light. We are here and declaring through Havdalah to say that there is separateness. There is a way to be able to use each and every element of creation to better, or God forbid, it can also damage and destroy. And so, Be'ezrat Hashem, this Shabbat Kodesh, when we look at the candles, we should acknowledge the fact that they're here to enlighten us, and not, God forbid, to enlighten a path where we shouldn't travel on. And when we light the candle of Havdalah, the torch of fire, should also remind us that there is a distinction, that we're intended to use everything that Hashem gave us, because they're all gifts, but we're intended to put them to good use, not be enslaved to them, but to use them to create and further improve the world that we live in, to elevate it, because that's why we're here. Have a wonderful, wonderful Shabbat Kodesh.